morning, Angela. It is Sunday all over again. That keeps happening every week. Hey, Anadit. Good morning, Elena. I'm just realizing I forgot to put my earrings on. Oh, well. I'm going to go do that right now, just so I remember, so I have them on for church. I'll be right back. Timmy, what are you doing? Go keep them entertained. Go keep them entertained. I gotta grab
something. Hey guys, today's sponsor is donuts from Trader Joe's. Yeah, they're sour cream glazed donuts. Oh, come on, you just started sponsoring. Come on.
Hey, Mona. I'm back. Okay, Timmy. That's enough.
Oh, not sponsored, by the way. No, a sponsor hash browns. Probably. We'll probably sponsor hash browns in the. Probably,
Okay, goodbye.
Wait, I want it. Fine, goodbye. Get your glazed donuts at TraderJoe's.com or your local Trader Joe's. Bye.
Okay, close the door, please.
So,
I love how she pretty much just welcomes us into her home while she does stuff. Is that weird? If that's weird, sorry. Christy, nice to meet you. Oh, Derek's having a birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday. Yes, that was Timmy. That's my oldest boy. He's fun. He's a fun boy. Lily says there's an election coming up in Australia. We have I think they call it midterm elections. We have that coming up in June. I haven't looked at the vote by mail stuff yet, so I'm not sure what that's about. Elena's birthday is next Sunday. What are you going to do? Elena, Derek, are you guys going to do anything fun? We've got, is it Hurricane YouTube? I'm putting this up a little higher. No, the welcoming is so cozy. Harry says it's been a while. Nicola wants to know when my birthday is. It's in October. Harry's very busy. Okay, Roscoe is here. If there's a few people I missed saying hi to because I was grabbing something, then forgive me. Mario is here. Christy, happy birthday on Tuesday as well. Derek, no, I do not have heels on because I'm volunteering in Sunday school today. So, going to be playing with the little kids today. Not a good place to wear heels. Don't want to hurt the little crawlers. They're just not ideal, to be honest. Heels are not, they're not fun. I think the older I get, the less I want to wear them. See, I don't know. I think you kind of reach a place where you don't care what other people think, and you start to like comfort more than appearing. Well, you know what? I don't think it's an age thing because I just had dinner with a bunch of ladies who were over 50 yesterday. I went to a 50th birthday party, and a lot of them still like to torture themselves in heels and all kinds of other uncomfortable things. So maybe it's when you get to the point where you don't really care what other people think of you and you're not trying to impress anyone. And a lot of them are still like doing the whole Hollywood schmooze thing, networking parties and trying to look perfect. I'm like, I am so over that. So over it. Okay, Lily says she's discovering she can hold a tune. Oh, thank you, CJ. CJ says you look beautiful. Absolutely. Colin, we've got Sri here. Queen, the top suits you. Oh, thank you. So Manny Van Nan, Sunday change is next level. Business kids. I'm not sure what you're referring to, what you're talking about. But did you see the subject today? I forget what I called it. outside fixes won't help an inside problem. I called it something different because I didn't want to call it the exact same thing as I have in my course. But in my course, in lesson 6, in my You Are Worthy course, which is launching publicly next Friday, by the way, in 5 days. Oh my goodness. I talk about, well, the name of the lesson. Oh, thank you, Elena. Little rainbow unicorn gift. Hold on. I talk about fixing the outside won't help an inside problem. I forget what I called it here, but it's basically the same thing. CJ says, I love these lessons you teach us. Is it bad to go to church on Saturdays? Why would it be? I don't think it's ever bad to go to church. Unless your church is not really a church, unless it's a cult or something. Then I wouldn't go any day of the week. Catherine, any new books you are writing? Why, yes, there are. I'm hopefully by the end of the month I will be putting my finishing touches on my You Are Worthy book. So I'm launching my You Are Worthy course, which is like a full gourmet meal with all the little treats and side dishes and sauces and dippings and appetizers. The book is going to be a smaller, pared down version. Thank you, Nicola. It's going to teach most of the lessons. I couldn't fit everything in a book. My course is over 7 hours of teaching plus lots of fun like little acting things and skits and different characters and music and videos and lively. It's like a whole another level. Those of you who've been through it can testify to that. If you've been seeing my Instagram, I've been putting up some of the testimonies. Thank you, John, that are talking about the course and what's in it and what people got out of it. So if you've been checking that out, I've been putting those up since it's launching. I'm going to do a webinar on Friday, giving you a little taste of what's in the course, but teaching you guys how to love yourself even if you don't like yourself. And I'm teaching 3 key points out of the course. It's Aurora's birthday. When was it? Yesterday? She said it's been my birthday. Lizzie, thank you for the gift. Angela says it's amazing. I highly recommend the course. It's life-changing. Nicola has an exam on Friday. So one thing that we do a lot in life is we try to fix things on the outside, the exterior, without having to go deep on the inside, right? Derek, thank you for the gift. He asks, how did you survive wearing heels the entire short film bag? Did you take the heels off in between takes? I do that sometimes. It's hard to do if some of the shoes are strappy and they have like the strap around them. So sometimes I just have to sit down for a while. I don't know who invented those torture mechanisms of heels, but I don't know. Can you please talk about the divine in the detours? VS wants to know. Well, it's kind of a different topic than I wanted to talk about today, but we can go there for a minute. When things happen and they're you don't want them to, you think, what is going on? It's like you're going down this path in life. You're trying to reach your goals. You think you're going to go this direction, and then there's a roadblock. There's cones everywhere. That road is closed down. You guys, maybe this has happened to you. Mona says you have to check out Catherine's course. It's so healing. And Aurora says she's not getting noticed, but I just already talked about her. So some of you guys, I'm not going to always get to everybody. I do my best, but some things require a longer explanation. So I can't keep answering every question immediately right when it pops up, because then I'm cutting the other people's answers short. So, but I do my best. I do my best, and I try to answer the questions too that I think will be most helpful. Sometimes I answer the silly ones or the fun ones, but I try to do the ones that will leave a lasting impact on you so you guys get more out of it. Oh my goodness. I keep clearing my throat. I'm going to have some OJ. So has that happened to you guys in life? You hit a detour. You go, I'm going to be a doctor when I grow up. But then you don't pass the exam to get into whatever college or undergrad or post-grad, or I don't even know how the college stuff works. But apparently you go to college for a few years and then you got to go to more college if you're going to be a doctor. I think the normal thing is 4 years, but then if you're a doctor, it's like another 4 or 5 years. I don't know how that works. But let's say you have a dream. You're going down this road, you don't get in, or it doesn't work, or your mom dies, suddenly you're caring for your siblings, and you can't afford college, they turn you down for your student loans, or whatever it is. That would be a detour. So when I say look for the divine in the detours, Vias, that has to do with instead, like what a lot of people do is they complain. They go, oh my gosh, this didn't work. It's all over for me. I can't believe this didn't happen. Like they go through this whole upset about this detour, this thing that didn't work out. When really we look for the divine in the detours is really about stepping back and saying, okay, God, I don't understand. I've had this dream in my heart to be a doctor since I was a little kid, and it's not working. I don't know why I didn't get into the school. I don't know why I couldn't afford the money. Why did my parent have to die? Why am I taking care? It becomes this whole thing where we're questioning and complaining, and instead we need to just be, hey Joy, Jay boy, good to see you again. We need to be more asking God, what is your plan for me? What do you want for me? This is what I wanted for my life, but you know more than I do. We have to trust. God knows more than we do. He's not going to have plans that are terrible for us, right? The book of Jeremiah says, the plans that he has for us are for good and not for evil, to give us a future and a hope. So you guys know that, and just like the book of John, 1 John verse 3 says that he wishes above all things that we would prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prospers. Hey Grizzly, he's saying it's true. Hey Katie. So God wants what's best for you. He doesn't want you to be broke down, hopeless, feeling terrible, hating your life. That's not the plan, right? That's what the devil wants for you, right? John 10:10, the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but God comes to give you life and life more abundantly. So when there's a detour that comes up, it pulls us away from the abundant life, or we think, here's the thing, we think it's pulling us away, like, I was going to make good money being a doctor, I was going to do it. But God knows what the future, right? He knows before we do. He knows if something was not going to work out. Your doctor practice was going to go under. You were going to get burned out. You were going to be working 18 hours a day. You would lose your family. Your kids wouldn't talk to you anymore. Whatever the plan is, if you had gone your way, God tries to spare us from things that are going to take us down. So sometimes we don't understand, like, oh, why didn't this happen? And why didn't it happen this way? And how come this? And we really just have to trust that it's for a purpose and a reason, and a good one. Not to have a more miserable life, but to have a better life, to have a more abundant life. So you have to trust that. Okay, so hopefully that answers the questions that you had, and really just seek God. Why am I here? Why didn't this work out? What do you want me to do instead? Okay, so the topic today is when people try to fix the outside when what they have is a problem going on inside them. So sometimes we get in these places where we don't like ourselves. We think, oh, I don't like this. I don't like myself. And maybe if I was thinner. And then you do some stuff that's like you're exercising 3 hours a day, or you're taking diet pills that are detrimental to your health. You think, well, maybe if I just was thinner, it would be this. Or maybe guys think if I just had more muscles, and you're pumping at the gym. You're doing all this stuff because you don't like yourself, but if you liked yourself, you wouldn't have to do all this stuff. You get what I'm saying? It's like it becomes this vicious cycle. And then sometimes what I've seen, like I'm in Hollywood, so I see a lot of women do a lot of stuff to themselves to try to become something that they're not automatically really. And so maybe they think, oh, you know what? Once you hit the certain age, you don't get roles, you're not cast. So I gotta look young. And they're in the doctor's office getting injected with all the Botox. They're getting their faces lifted up, sucked up. They're trying to do this because they can't accept where they're at, or they think it would be better if they just did this other stuff. But truly, if you love yourself, the exterior, it's not going to matter. Yeah, it's a bummer if maybe it's a bummer if you accidentally put on 30 pounds during COVID, whatever. It's a bummer. It's an inconvenience if you have to go get some bigger clothes, but it's not who you are. You know, it doesn't define you. It's not that important. So being that it's not that important, that's not what we should spend our time focused on. You know, sometimes you see guys who get their cars all tricked out and they're making it sound louder. I don't know what they do with the muffler, and they're putting the spoiler on, and they've got the racing stripes, and they've got expensive rims, and all that stuff is not going to matter if your engine isn't working, right? So same with us. We have to take care of the inner stuff before we, it's the same with people that want to wear name brand everything. They're spending their entire paycheck so they can have Louis Vuitton handbags or whatever. I don't even know what the expensive fashions are. Is Gucci one? I don't know, because I'm not into that kind of stuff. If I have extra money, it's not going to pay some name brand whatever. It's going to be helping the homeless or giving to different missionaries or whatever. It's going to be for the common man. I don't need to impress anyone. And it's interesting because there's been times in Hollywood where I've been like at Paramount Studios having a meeting with an investor for my films, and I didn't realize at the time how much they judge you on outer appearance. So he was going to invest in this one film I had and fund it and stuff, and I thought he was just being kind when he walked me out to my car. Turns out he wanted to see what kind of car I drove to see how successful I was. Had I known that's what people judge you on, I would have, number one, washed my little beat up Toyota. I would have cleaned all the kids' toys out of it. I would have, maybe if I was more savvy and how Hollywood judges people, maybe I would have borrowed a friend's car who had a Mercedes or who had some whatever. Because you don't realize, if you're not into that kind of stuff, you don't realize that's what people judge you by sometimes. Let's see. We've got Sabrina who says she speaks Russian. That's interesting. Oh, I didn't get to finish it because she got timed out. But okay. All right. I have a couple friends from Russia, and there's I used to go to this gym in North Hollywood area, and the women there was a lot of Russian women there, and we would go into the steam room, and a lot of them would speak to me in Russian. They thought I was Russian. I thought that was interesting, that some people think I look Russian. And then there was this girl I used to go to church with from Russia, but I think she called it Lafayette, Lafta. I don't know how to say it. But people used to get us confused all the time, and they used to mix us up, and they used to call me by her name. I don't know if she liked that because I was a lot older than her, but people used to think we were the same person. Um, anyway, so doing all this outer stuff, right? Trying to impress people, it's really pointless knowing that these people we're trying to impress probably don't really like us anyway, because if they did, we wouldn't have to impress them. You know, if you're around true friends who love you for you, they're not going, hey, how come you don't have the latest whatever? How come you don't have the latest fashion? That's like not even a consideration. So if those are your friends and they're wondering why you don't have the latest and greatest iPhone or computer or whatever, I think you might be running in the wrong circles. So think about that. So working on your inside instead of your outside, you're going to be working on your, I made some notes. Let me read what I wrote down to talk to you guys about. Okay, so sometimes we think, oh, because I don't have a high IQ, things aren't working out for me. Or because I'm in a wheelchair, things aren't working out for me. Because I have some special need, that's what's stopping me from going through and walking through the doors I need to walk through. That's what's stopping me from having these things in my life that I want. Thank you, Emilio. He says this is very positive. Oh, hey, Michael. Happy to have you on again. So I want you guys to know that how you look, how much you weigh, how old you are, whether you're blind or deaf or in a wheelchair or have cerebral palsy, whether you're battling something, all of that is actually irrelevant to whether your goals happen or not, whether your goals get met. It doesn't matter. It's not going to stop you from the purpose and plan God has for you, because God knows the beginning, the end, the middle. He knows all that's going to happen. And hey, Maddie, is it Maddie? Maddie? I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Point is, God knew you would end up with how you are. And he purposed and planned for a great, beautiful, victorious, wonderful life for you. And that's not stopping you. It may stop you from some earthly opportunities that you think might be something you want to do. But when other people don't get you, when they don't understand you, when they use something on your outside to say, no, you can't have this. Like, I remember when I first moved to Hollywood and I auditioned to be a Power Ranger. Woo-hoo, who knows the Power Rangers? Power Rangers! And they turned me down because they said I wouldn't fit into their costumes. So I was too big and voluptuous for Hollywood, even in my 20s when I first moved here. So if you take those no's as meaning it's over for you, then you stop. And you don't want to stop. The outside is not the things you need to fix. If I had then starved myself or developed an eating disorder because I've got turned down more than once for my size. I've been fired for being too fat. I've been told, the director put his hand on my shoulder and he was like, geez, you're like a linebacker. I can laugh about it now, but it hurt for a while before I had the realization that the outside has nothing to do with it, right? It doesn't stop God's plan for you. Thank you for the gift, Elena. So that's what we have to keep in mind. Whatever the purpose and plan that God has for you is not going to be stopped by anything outward. It's not going to be stopped if you're too short or if you're too tall or if you're too anything. Because God already knew how you would turn out and how you would be and what choices you'd make. And he's still willing to give you a wonderful and a powerful future. Okay, Erica says, how are you, Catherine? One question from my cousin. Which place are you in the USA? I am in Los Angeles, California. Okay. Um, okay, so let's, all right. So you're out, anything outwardly is not going to stop you from um, having the life that is going to be a good life, a powerful life, a life that God wants for you. Thank you, Nicola, for the gift. So it's not about, so when I'm saying, oh, don't fix the outside because it doesn't have to do with your inside, it's not a judgment, okay? If you are good, you're secure in yourself, you know who you are, you trust God's plans for you, but you've you have ears that stick out and people have made fun of you, and if you want to get them pinned back, it's no big deal. The problem comes when people think that the outside is who they are. That's when it becomes a problem, because then you're like doing all this stuff to be loved and accepted and da 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 da, when it's really it's irrelevant. It's not who you are, because who you are is on the inside, right? It's your spirit. When we die and go to heaven, this raggedy old body isn't going with us. God's giving us a new one. He's giving us a new glorious body in heaven. So, if you want to do a little tweak here, if you want to do a little nip and a tuck and a lift and a pull in and a expansion, it doesn't matter. But if you're tying how you feel about yourself to how you look, there's this disconnect, right? You're not seeing yourself the way God sees you. You're thinking doing something outwardly is going to make people love you more, make you feel better about yourself, help you with your dreams and goals. And really, it's your mind, your will, your emotions, your spirit, all that stuff is what we are and what we need and what's going to help us. So our attitude about things is going to get us over what we think the outward things are. So Erica says, I love your videos, Catherine. I wish I had blue eyes. Well, we have contacts nowadays that people can just make their eyes any color they want. Hey, Maxima. So yeah, it's no condemnation. Once you realize it's not you in there, in my online course, I talk about how, this is an earth suit. This is the shell we live in. This is just the house. And once you're okay with yourself and you can love yourself right where you're at, if you want to fix a couple things, fine. But you have to know, you first have to be at the place where you're secure in who you are. God loves you. Whatever somebody said about how big you are, I'm just using my example in Hollywood, isn't going to stop you from having the career or the life or the whatever God intended you to have. What's going to stop you is your mindset about it, is you're feeling bad about it, is you're giving up because of it. So if we're just a house we live in, if you think about the actual physical house, if you want to scrape the paint it a new color, if you want to get new shutters, that's okay. It's okay to do some things to fix yourself up. Like I got highlights in my hair, right? I got it a little blonde, or I got a haircut. That's outward thing. I put on mascara, I put on makeup. That's fixing myself up a little, right? But I first had to get to the place where I was secure in who I was without all that. I got so secure. I got so secure in not caring what I looked like. Noah was taken. Thank you for the gift. He says, I'm his favorite Dhar Mann actor. Can you follow me on Twitter? I don't really go on Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter in a couple of years. But if you inbox me on Instagram and remind me and tell me your Twitter, I'll try to do that. So there was a time in my life where I wouldn't leave the house without makeup on. I was so insecure. It's gone so far the other way that my husband's had to have a few conversations with me like, please do not go out in public in that stained shirt with the holes in it. You've got dark circles under your eyes from your mascara that you didn't fully wipe off the night before. He's like, people are recognizing you now. They take pictures with you and you go, can you please like represent? And he has a point. Okay, so sometimes you're like, I'm so concerned about what other people think. Then you get to like, I don't care what other people think. And then sometimes you got to get back in the middle, not because you care what other people think, but because you represent the King, right? You represent God. You represent a child of the Most High. I talk about this more in my You Are Chosen course, which is still being written. We do, we have to think of who we represent. And is anyone going to come to God or love God if they have to wear a gas mask to sit next to you, right? I talk about this in my You Are Worthy course. So there is a middle ground, but it's not caring what you look like for fear of other people and them judging you. And it's not staying in this place of like, I'm a slob and I'm just not going to shower for a week. It's like, who do we represent? We represent the King. We are a child of the Most High God. We are royalty, right? So it's a whole different thing. Okay, thank you for the gift, Derek. He's asking, how do you feel about the prosperity gospel? So there's a lot of churches, sometimes they call them faith movement, but prosperity movement, it's like every service they're pulling out the scriptures from the Bible that talks about you're going to be blessed, you're going to prosper, and then they stretch the scriptures and they start talking about how you're going to be a millionaire for God, you're going to do, and some people are meant to, but they put the focus on the blessings. God is going to give you this. God is going to do this for you. God is going to, and yes, God does that for you, but we're called to seek God, to, as some like to say, seek his face, not his hands, right? Seek God for who he is, not for what he'll give you. So, some people are busy striving to get the stuff. That's the prosperity gospel. It's, you're going to get this stuff. You're going to get your house paid off. You're going to get your car paid off. You're going to, thank you for the gift, Nicola. You're going to get this and this and this. And Elena's saying she doesn't wear makeup either. But they're talking about all the monetary, you're going to be blessed and you're going to be driving BMWs and you're going to be whatever. And they're missing the point of that relationship with God. So the prosperity gospel can lead people astray. It's like, I think of it as going through, when people just pick certain things out of the Bible and make a whole doctrine around these certain few scriptures, like the ones on prosperity and being blessed. It's like going through a buffet line. The Bible, you're going to have your fruits and your veggies. You're going to have your nuts, your seeds, your breads. But people go through and they pick certain things. Like Emilio says, I like donuts. If you go through the buffet line and you only pick the donuts, you only pick the desserts, you only pick the prosperity out of the Bible, you're missing the point. What about humbling yourself before the Lord? What about not exalting yourself? What about, being of service to others? What about coming before God with a pure heart? What about Matthew 6:33, seeking God first, then all these things will be added to you. So that's, it's not that God doesn't want us to prosper, because I already quoted that verse. He wants us to prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prospers. But if you're only going after God for all the stuff you can get, you've missed the point, right? Okay. Exactly, Lucas. Matthew 6:33. All right, so okay, so one last point, two last points I was going to make on the topic today about fixing the outside won't help an inside problem. So how many of you know, you look at someone who has it all together. They look like they have it all together. They've got the body, the man, the spouse, the woman, their sidekick. They've got the degrees, they've got the looks, they've got the money, they've got the fame, whatever it is, but they're miserable inside. Sometimes those who are most exquisitely dressed and are putting on this front, sometimes they're the most miserable. How many of you guys, thank you for the gift, Angela. You're so generous. How many of you guys read, was it 2 months ago, about that gorgeous woman who was Miss America, 30 years old, jumped off a building to her death? Thank you, Brittany. Thank you for the gift. People who sometimes are putting up fronts are the most miserable of all. Actor Jim Carrey, famous actor in the United States, probably worldwide, had this goal of being a famous actor and making over $1 million for a film, and he did. He got it. He met his goal. He had everything he wanted in life, and it was empty for him. It was empty, and he had this quote he said that says something like, I hope everybody can become rich and famous and meet all of their dreams so that they can realize that is not the answer. So he got there. He got to the place everybody strives to be at, to be rich and famous and have all the beautiful women and cars and houses and did it. And he discovered it was empty inside. And a lot of people discover it's empty inside. And when you've reached the point that you've been trying for your whole life and you go, this is it? That's because we have a God-shaped hole in our heart. And so many people try to fill that hole with alcohol, with women, with men, with booze, with relationships, with name brand, with looking the best, with putting up fronts, with being on covers of magazines, and nothing can fill that hole except God. Only God is meant to fill that hole. And that's why you can find people who don't look good, who are poor, who society would say, these people are worthless, these people are nothing, and they can be happy. And they can have the joy of the Lord. And they can go to bed at night not dreading. They can have peaceful sleep because they're living for God. They're living for their family. They're not striving to get some level of approval. They're not striving to get some award, some gold medal, and there's nothing wrong with that in and of itself and God's plan for you to do that. But if your life becomes about the outward, doing stuff on the outward, that's not going to bring you joy. That's not going to bring you happiness. That's not going to bring you lasting fulfillment. You guys see people post on Instagram and they're like posting in front of fancy rich cars and they've got the hot bikini babes with them and they've got sometimes you go, oh, I wish I was like that. You don't know how miserable they are. You don't know how they're faking the funk, pretending like everything is awesome, and then they go back to downing pills at night to be able to sleep, drowning their... I saw this, somebody took this video at a bar of this couple that was like a famous Instagram couple or something, and he's like, him and her, and she goes to hold the camera, and they both go, like they're partying, they're looking all great, and the minute she puts the phone down, he's like looking angry at her, not into her. Like, it was all just a guise. It was all just... Fumo says, I'm in a hotel underground in Tokyo. That sounds interesting. But you don't know how many of these people that are pretending to be happy, living this luxurious life, are faking the funk. They're not happy. They're pretending that for their followers. Okay? It's not real life. Medi, yes, my eyes are real. I was born with 2 different colored eyes. Okay. All right, so if you've got some things in your life that you're not happy about, you don't like how certain things are, you don't like certain things about your life, instead of like trying to fix them through outward means, I would just say go to God, to have a conversation with let's just say this in my You Are Worthy course, instead of having a consultation with a cosmetic surgeon, have a conversation with the great physician, right? That's what they call God in the Bible. He's the great physician. He's the doctor. He's the real doctor. He's the doctor of the broken hearts, right? He says he heals and he binds up the brokenhearted. Via says some people talk about the car they drive and the clothes they wear like they are some sort of accessory and how it's connected to their sense of worth. And that's so sad, because what happens if the stock market crashes and all their money goes away and they have nothing but rags, and how bad are they going to feel about themselves if their worth is tied up in these superficial things, right? That's what the Bible calls like hay and things that will burn up, that will be moth-eaten. Clothes are just going to be moth-eaten. That's not a real legacy. So I'm ready for your questions. Guys, if you typed in questions and I haven't seen them yet, now is the time to re-put them in, because I am done with my spiel for now. Lucas says she tells people what to do in life so you can be a better person. Oh, thank you. Why I'm in time, I don't do anything rude. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Okay, so we're all hopefully being kind to each other and being loving and supportive. And I know some of you, I've seen some of you guys cheering each other on in the comments, which is lovely and great. So any questions that I have not got to that you've been wanting to ask, I'd like to read now. And it says, Catherine is having a large bowl of fruits for breakfast along with milk. No, I don't drink milk. Occasionally I'll have maybe almond milk or oat milk, or yeah. Typically I'm not doing a lot of milk. Fruit's where it's at. Do you like night clubbing, Catherine? You know, Nicola, I love to dance, and I used to go out to nightclubs quite frequently with my friends. Just to dance. I don't really do that anymore. I don't really go do a lot of like fun. I mean, I have fun in everything I do, but I don't specifically go to parties and a lot of stuff like that. Just because, well, I don't enjoy it anymore. I like to get up early so I can be productive. So if I stay out late at night, then I can't get up early and do my writing and stuff like that. And I don't know if I'm really feeling the music they play these days. Some of it's good, some of it's good. Okay. Derek asks, and thank you for the gift, Derek, what does it mean when someone says I play the card on autism? Do they say the card on autism, or do they mean you play the autism card? So all that means is when somebody says you play the blah blah card, they think you're using your autism as an excuse for something. Like, it'd be like if Timmy says, oh, I can't go to the kitchen because I have cerebral palsy. Well, you walk around to do other things so you can walk to the kitchen. You know, it's when people use it as an excuse for not doing something. Back to my earlier thing about, oh, I'm too overweight for Hollywood, so I guess I can't be an actor. That would be playing the overweight card. If you use something that you have as an excuse for not doing something that you actually are capable of, then that's the card you're playing. That's what they mean by that. What are you drinking today? It looks good. This is just fresh squeezed orange juice. I had my celery juice earlier today, and before that I had my lemon water. I always start my day with lemon water, and then half hour to an hour later, celery juice. Okay, Jordan says, I missed you, Carton. I had a bad week and I just need some encouragement. I'm sorry you had a bad week. I hope things are going better for you. Mona's an early bird too. Energy runs low late in the day. I know, sometimes I schedule things. Like last night I was going to work on rewriting my webinar. I thought I could rewrite it at 6 p.m. at night after I had already been up and working on writing since like 5:30 in the morning. And I was like, no. I just sat on the couch and watched silly cartoons with Eli because that's all my brain could do. Okay. Did you want, yes, I saw that episode. Yes. Okay. You thought it was mango. It does kind of look like mango juice, doesn't it? Okay, now I know you guys had a bunch of questions earlier, so go ahead and type them in. Nicola asks, do you know any other languages besides English? In high school, I took 1 year of Spanish. I thought it would help me when I moved here, but it did not, because in high school they taught us, I think they call it Castilian Spanish, but out here they don't speak that kind of Spanish. So like some of the words I would use, people did not know what I was talking about, because there's different words in like the Spanish spoken in Mexico, and most of the people who speak Spanish in Los Angeles are from Mexico, predominantly, so it didn't really translate. My brother speaks Chinese, though. I don't. This is random, but do you add followers on Facebook? If that's not okay, I understand. Not usually on my, I don't usually add people on my personal page. I have like 2 criteria. I can add people on my personal Facebook page if like I know someone personally, or I add them if we have at least 50 or 100 common mutual friends, then I might. Are popular kids insecure and that's why they're mean, at least in my school? Is it Cora Queen? That could be part of it. Some of it could be insecurity, and some of it could just be they're just jerks. Sometimes they're just jerks, but you know, a lot of times there is something underneath it. So that's a really interesting question, because, for instance, bullies. Oh, okay, Korak Queen. Sometimes they're just bullies, but other times they're dealing with something, and they feel the need to pick on somebody lesser than them. It could be at home. Their parents are picking on them. Their parents might be bullying them. So you just never know. Erica says, why is your hair always so beautiful? Because mine is tangled. Sorry if I have bad English. Mine is tangled all the time too, Erica. I have the most tangly hair, and sometimes I get out of the shower and it's taking me like a half an hour to try to comb through it, and I have to use like detangling spray. And I have these days where I'm like, I'm just gonna cut all my hair off. It's gonna save me so much time if I just cut it all off. And I won't have to untangle it all the time. So my hair is not perfect, Emilio. I don't know how I pull it off to make you guys think that it is, but no, I have a lot of problems. Hey, Polly and friends, gamers. Brittany says, Kat, does your Trader Joe's have the Scandinavian swimmer gummies? Because they're my new food addiction. Yes, those are good. I should have bought some yesterday. I totally forgot. But I did get some. Oh, Brittany. Okay. The Trader Joe's had watermelon jerky. Sounds weird, right? So good. That's my new favorite addiction. Watermelon jerky. It's like these slices of dehydrated watermelon, and it's like you rip it. You know, remember back in high school when you'd have like fruit by the foot or fruit roll-ups? It's kind of like that, but way yummier. Okay, I'm gonna bring to the party tonight that I'm going to, but I'm not gonna share with anyone. It's gonna be my secret stash in my purse. I'm gonna bring, food for the potluck for others, but my like watermelon jerky, while they're all eating pieces of cake and cheesecake, I'm gonna be eating my watermelon jerky. Yes. Okay, so she says she gets it all the time. I saw it there a couple times, but I was like, that sounds weird. But no, it's now my new secret treat. And thank you for the gift, Elena. I don't know if I said that. The electricity went out at Mona's. Serum is good for tangles and argan oil. Lily, I have a different hair type though than you. And so let me show you. I tried different oils sometimes, but here's what happens. And this is why my hair is up. When I wear oils, do you see how greasy this looks? I just washed my hair yesterday, but when I use oils to detangle it, I can't like rinse it out. So although it may look good, it actually, to me, when I use oils to help detangle it, it makes my hair so greasy, and no matter how long I'm in the shower, I can't get the grease out. So I have really fine hair. So people with thicker hair like you, more coarse hair, can do oils and it does great on them. But this is what it does to me. I feel like my hair just looks greasy when I try to do the oils. So different hair types, it's tough. It's tough because I've never really found, like, sometimes I try to wear stuff that makes my hair less tangled and it just makes it look greasy. To me, it looks like I can't get the oil out. And this has happened to me a couple times on set, and I was so embarrassed. I put my new like detangler stuff in, and I show up to set, and I was so embarrassed. I was shooting this TV show for BET, and I show up and set, and the hairdresser's like, "Oh my God, your hair is so greasy. Didn't you wash it?" And I did, but I can't get the like conditioner out. When I wear stuff that's too heavy for my type of hair, it just looks greasy, like I didn't wash my hair. And I did, and I have to, then she makes me wash my hair on set. And there's all these people that are waiting for me because now I've got wet hair and we can't start filming because now we have to blow dry my hair and style it and do all this stuff because this hairdresser assumed I showed up to set with greasy hair, which I did not. Oh, see these silly problems we have that are just, it's just silly, but that's stuff I deal with in my world. Fumo says, I just found out I have one of your books and I didn't even know. Which one? The, Poetic Prescriptions for Plaguing Problems, Biblical Remedies for When Life Bites, Poetic Prescriptions for Pesky Problems, or Poetic Prescriptions for Eternal Youth. Yes, Lily, I've seen your hair. You've sent me pictures of it many times. Okay. Would you rather play good characters or bad characters on Dhar Mann? It doesn't matter. I don't mind either one. Derek, thank you for the gift. How do you convince someone that you're not playing the autism card? Well, I would first ask them, like, when they say that, or I would say, what is it that I'm doing that you think I'm playing the autism card? I don't understand. Ask them to explain. Sometimes maybe there is something that you're doing that you're unaware of that might be making them think that way. But if they give you an answer and you feel like in your spirit that's not really true, sometimes people are just judgmental. Sometimes people, they have it out. I'm not saying this is the case, but sometimes people just don't like us. I don't know why. Sometimes we could be just the nicest person, giving, caring, heartful to help people and people won't like us. I don't know if it's because, I don't know why. Maybe it's because, when I used to work at a factory, I was happy all the time, and everybody on the assembly line was like mean and angry and rude, and just, they couldn't wait to clock in and clock out and get out of there, and I would come in happy and they would be grumbling and upset. Why are you so happy? And oh my gosh, some people just won't like you, and you can't please everyone. So, but if you are curious and they've said it more than once, I would ask, hey, why is it that you think I'm playing the autism card? Yeah. Okay. Nicola, thank you for the gift. You have exams soon. Do you have any tips? Well, what is your struggle in that area? I mean, do you feel like you're not learning enough? Or is it that you don't think you can retain the information or your memory, or do you think it has to do with like nervousness? What exactly are you worried about with the exams? Erica, I will do a video on Dhar Mann daughters. Clarifying shampoo, Brittany is suggesting for me. It could be product buildup and the oily spots. Try the Blonde Basti Dry Shampoo. I'm going to take a picture of this. It'll soak it up. Good stuff. Makes your hair feel better. Okay. I thought clarifying shampoos were something that like stripped your hair. Maybe I'll go. Is that something I can order online? I suppose I could get it from a store. Yeah, but that's what when I try to do the stuff to get the tangles out. Yeah, maybe I need a clarifying shampoo. I haven't tried one in years. I kind of forgot about it. I'm so like not into I'm so like not into hair stuff that I don't even know what's out there. But I'm definitely using the wrong product. Yes, Vias, I have met Rachel. We were on set at the same time doing 2 different productions. I've never been in a production with her, but I did finally get to meet her. She seems really lovely. And she's funny. You are happy because you are the human form of sunshine. Aw. Thank you. Okay, Nicholas says, I had trauma of failing exams and I get upset. Academic anxiety. Okay. So, what is it, where is your happy place? Where do you feel good? Where do you feel like things work out for you? You feel at peace? You kind of want to try to get yourself mentally in a space where, if you know something gives you anxiety and upset, work through that, talk through that, pray about it. If you know being rushed is something that adds to your anxiety, I would make it an effort to get there a half hour early. If on days you don't eat a good enough breakfast, you have anxiety, I would start to journal about it and start to make a list. What are all the things that make me feel anxious? So you can have a list of things to be prepared for, of things not to do, so that you can be in a place where everything is working towards you. Is your anxiety about time limits? Do you have, do they set a time limit? Is that what makes you anxious? I would make a list of all the things that makes you anxious. What's that smile for? First of all, you need to brush your teeth.
Which I forgot again.
Well, brush your teeth after you eat. You got like donuts stuck in your teeth.
Can I watch this at home, Mom?
No, because I'm serving in Sunday school today.
Yes, Mom.
He wanted just to live stream church, but not today. I mean, I guess I could go by myself and they can watch it on TV. Hi. Okay. By the way, give Rye a hug for me at the party. I'm off to go play racquetball. Okay, yes, so I'm supposed to go to a party tonight that's like Renaissance fair, dress in Renaissance fair costumes. I don't think I have anything. I don't know. I mean, I have a corset, but we'll see. We'll see what I have. But need suggestions for oily hair. My hair gets very oily after 2 days. What do you do for oily hair? I guess try the clarifying shampoo that Brittany recommended. BH says, I'm guilty of dragging out the time for periods of time and starting things late in the day. Yeah, do it early. Do it early. Get it done early. Nicholas says, yes, I journal, but I haven't done much as things are busy. I might go back to journaling again soon, especially when the anxiety builds up. Like the other, and oh man, prayer really works. The other day I was kind of anxious about a bunch of stuff, and I had so much to do, and I just had to say, you know what? Forget about the to-do list. Forget about all this stuff. Right now, I just need to spend time with God. God, He will calm your spirits down, and you spend that time praying and pressing in and journaling, and you do it. You pray till the anxiety lifts, and sometimes that's really the key. Is that we have to press in, because then He will lift that. He will give you peace that goes beyond anything you can imagine. Yes, I wear wigs in Dhar Mann sometimes just because it's fun and I like to change it up. I don't always want to look like and play the same character. Jarrell says, do you have any DVDs of the movies or TV shows you made before Dhar Mann videos? I have a few. One of the major problems is a lot of times I would be in stuff and they wouldn't give me the copy. So although I've been in like 150 other projects before Dhar Mann. I maybe only have copies of 10 or 15 things because they just would never give me a copy, and you get tired of trying to chase them down to get your footage, calling them and emailing them constantly like, hey, where's my footage? And a lot of times, you know, some of the productions never finished editing, or I'd shoot something and then they wouldn't edit it, or they wouldn't put it out, or they wouldn't put it in film festival. And so I would say probably maybe 100 of the 150 projects I never even saw. I don't know whether they got complete or not, or where they screened them or showed them. So it's frustrating as an actor because early on, a lot of times they don't even want to pay. They don't even want to pay the actors. So you're doing your work for what they say copy, credit, and meals, which means they're going to give you a copy of the project, they're going to give you credit, they're going to give you your title in it, and they're going to feed you on set, which a lot of times on these low budget things are just like a bag of pretzels and some water. It's like prison food. So you do all this work to earn footage just so you can put a demo reel together so you can prove yourself to an agent to get work, and then you don't even get the footage. It's a racket. Acting is not what it looks like in the famous stars you see. You're slugging it out. Okay, guys, I have to go to church now. If I missed your question, please come back next week and I will answer it then. As always, be blessed, live true, love hard, and